Hello everyone, and welcome to a game between Lawliet and Infi. Infi is spawned as the red human player over here on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lawliet has spawned as the blue night elf player over here on the bottom right. After all of the crazy games that we've seen Infi do on the ladder, and well, just watching his replays, it's actually a little strange to watch him play a very typical game. And now that there's much more to play on the line here, very interesting, I'd say. I say it's probably because players often play with different strategies just to gain viewers. There is, the Chinese equivalent of Twitch out in China, of course, owned by the Chinese government, heavily monitored, and not really inviting anyone else out there to stream on that platform. But I'm sure he gets a lot of viewers. What will we see coming in from Lawliet this time around? As we are going to be looking at most likely it is going to be a Warden. All right, no surprises here. Keeper of the Grove or Demon Hunter would have been my guesses, but this is a Lawliet, or specifically this is versus a human player, Infi, here on Tyrannus Stand. Solo Warden has become a very popular hero choice, as it allows that Warden to get to level 6 fairly fast, as human players will really want to try and set up that expansion. We'll see if the advantage of human over night elf holds true in this particular matchup here, as we are looking at a Mountain King as the starting hero. All right. People have been telling me that it feels like human or undead and human have the advantage overall. I'm not 100% sure about that. Then again, there is my personal bias in there as well, as we are looking at the Mountain King making its way out, and now an archer using that lightning shield to effectively creep out a lot of these creeps. You can see the Renegade Wizard, Rogue Wizard, and Rogue all taking a fair amount of damage just straight from that lightning shield right there, forcing his opponent. Well, are we going to see perhaps a fan of knives here to try and finish off everything? There you go, one quick spell swoop to get in and deal a lot of damage across multiple units. Coming back on the other side, Mountain King does get up to level 1, will get up to level 2 with no real problem. Peasants finishing things off, and then we'll be transforming back here in just a moment, as this is going to become a bash and storm bolting Mountain King. Coming back on the other side once more, Warden looking to finish off the remains of this apprentice wizard creep camp, and the opening segments of the game have now started. Coming back through, what are we going to be looking at? What is the follow-up play? Lots of peasants have been trained. We are sitting on a fair amount of lumber coming in from Infi, as an expansion is most likely in order. Mountain King making its way over for Stroll Shadow Priest for a little bit of heal, as the peasants will be coming around from the top. Alright, Warden doesn't really seem like she is, trying to do any harassment, and that's what Infi's looking for. Infi's trying to see what Lawliet's strategy is going to be. Is Lawliet going to try and perhaps establish an expansion of her own, or is the Warden going to try to get an expansion of her own, or is Lawliet at the controls? Is he going to try and put up a little bit of harassment here? If we take a look at the main base of Lawliet, we already see a tech to tier 2. That tech to tier 2, a very telltale sign of things to come. I am expecting we are going to be looking at some towers being placed down here, and then also the Warden trying to come in for harassment. There is that Warden going to be teleporting off to the north, and here she comes to ruin the day of many human players. There's a manual of health being left behind. Mountain King is right there. Are we perhaps going to be looking at a storm bolt? Come on, Mountain King, there is still that manual of health. Perhaps you did not see it. Oh, you have to have seen it. Now Mountain King now makes its way off to the north. Here you can see there is that sentry ward placed down, and that is being placed down by Lawliet. So Lawliet knows what's going on. Mountain King purposely staying nearby, also having 1,000 hit points, and that Warden could do a lot of funny things here in just a moment, just outside of view now, as that Mountain King hoping to hoping to just keep his opponent at bay. This is not exactly what he wants from his opponent. Ancient of War taking a fair bit of damage here as the Warden may try to get to level 3, and in comes the Warden here. Warden is going to try and blink its way on in, getting in some damage. Are we going to see some Shadow Strike? Peasants now moving their way in, and so far we have not seen blink as of yet. Stormbolt now being used, and the blink was not used in time. That was absolutely huge. Manual of Health will be picked up, and that is Infi's problem right there. Not reading his books. The Warden now able to perhaps head away, and you're going to see the Warden now come back over as it gets to level 3. Warden now wants to come in for a large amount of harass. There is some damage. Mountain King could be going after that Forest Troll. Berserker could have gotten a bash as well. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Warden has found some easy targets already. All right, another Fan of Knives going to be coming online here in just a moment. There goes, finishing off all of those peasants as the Warden now looks to back away. Meanwhile, Mountain King is fighting with very, very high health Forest Troll Berserkers next to 3 fairly full Moonwells, and that is not something you really want to be doing as a Staff of Teleportation now coming in. Mountain King, it could have Stormbolted the Warden right there, waiting for that timing. Did not see it in time as the Mountain King, well, trying to run away here. There is that Ring of Protection. It was not picked up by that Mountain King as the Mountain King still, well, had too many items. Back across here, Tech to Tier 2 has already begun. We are at Tree of Ages. Wisp are now being trained up, as well as the Red Army now making its way in from the north. Army size is 33 compared to 21. Where is Lawliet's army? As we are looking at the Mountain King, perhaps going to try to put some pressure onto that Warden here. So far, units now making their way back. Good day, as the Warden going to go ahead and push back this Mountain King. Level 2 Fan of Knives, level 1 Blink, as the Mountain King heads back north. All right, peasants needing to be retrained. The Warden getting in a good amount of experience there. The Mountain King unable to easily get that many Stormbolts off, and that is perhaps going to be the issue, as that Warden is going to be dodging very quickly with Blink. Blink, a very powerful ability indeed. Mountain King now right there. Oh, there goes that Warden. Are we going to see a bash followed up by the Stormbolt? Nicely there. Some damage. Why wait for the surround? That doesn't make any sense. If you know the Warden has the that blink, just constantly attack it. The Mountain King trying to get into position, but I guess forcing your opponent to use the mana for blink is still very, very important. All right, Ancient of War taking a little bit of damage right there. Assassins and the Rogues trying to split across all of that here as the Ancient of War down to 610 hit points. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Fan of Knives coming across multiple units. There is a blink again, and once again getting denied. All right, this Force Bolt Berserker will get taken down as the Mountain King tries to stay back to push all of these units back once more. All right, thank you, Arya. Mountain King now making its way back once again. Warden chasing after this Mountain King. Mountain King, however, was getting slowed up by that slow poison, and we still don't see a Tree of Life as of yet for coming in from Lawliet for the expansion. Damage is coming through. There is some more purging. Some damage is being dealt, and once again, the Warden takes another Stormbolt full of damage as the Assassins are trying to, well, share across all of that poison damage. However, they seem to be fixated on this Ancient of War, and because of that, the Dryads are still fairly well protected. Heading back across over here, Mountain King gonna perhaps pick up some items once more. Mountain King, you're going to use a Clarity Potion, Scroll of Regeneration to heal up all of those units. 42 supply compared to 34. Lawliet's army has still been rather small throughout this match, but still pretty effective at handling what his opponent is dishing out. More guard towers and arcane towers getting constructed perhaps over here at the natural expansion, as the Warden finally using this opportunity. Tree of Life was actually built to the south, rather than off to the east, as that Tree of Life will be trying to entangle that gold mine momentarily. Tyrannus stands Warden's playground, yeah, but also Mountain King's playground. Yep, the harassment, we both pretty much saw it coming as the Goblin Zeppelin now overhead, as we are looking at a Blood Mage as the follow-up hero to the Mountain King to keep that Mountain King nicely topped off. All right, downside for the Blood Mage going up against, well, this Night Elf army. Not very many opportunities. Oh, Blink followed by another Blink will be necessary. As you can take a look right here, there is Frost Armor being cast. This Warden of Lawliet pretty much stuck, now needing to blink back off to that side. We are looking at the Goblin Zeppelin making its rounds here as the Warden sees this Zeppelin but does not know that it is empty. Blood Mage sitting at level 1 picks up a Scroll of Healing. Mountain King still at level 3. Wand of Illusion is there. The gloves, the gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 have been sold, as the Goblin Zeppelin is just, well, keeping the Lawliet's army nearby here and trying to protect that expansion. Little does he know that the Mountain King is actually going after some other creep camps now. This is going to give a, well, perhaps maybe level 4 to the Mountain King. Actually, it may actually be just shy of level 4 and maybe level 2 on this Blood Mage, as the Mountain King is going to go ahead and finish off the Enforcers here. All right, Enforcer goes down. There is that Blood Mage getting up to level 2. Mountain King, is it going to be able to get up to level 4? Not quite sure. Meanwhile, the Warden realized, wait, you know what? That there's nothing in that Zeppelin as of yet. What am I doing? Potion of Greater Healing has been dropped. Level 5 now on that Warden, and that Warden needs to consider what to do, leaving behind the Potion of Greater Healing. That's not a... Oh, you are right. That is the Panda. Panda was gonna go ahead and be trained up. Arya saw the icon for the Panda first, picking up that Potion of Greater Healing. Meanwhile, Warden is right there. Goblin Zeppelin. Well, by that Warden here, are we going to see some Siphon Mana? Yes, we are. Mountain King gets up to level 4. There's a Fan of Knives. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? No Stormbolt, no Bash. Blood Mage taking a lot of damage, trying to siphon as much mana away as possible, as we're still seeing the battling going back and forth. All right, Vampiric Aura picked up by the Mountain King, as the units are going to be retreating. All right, we see, well, Mountain King finishing off Footman he no longer needs. Stormbolt, onto the Warden, but the Warden blinks in time to dodge. Warden gets to level 5, and as the Blood Mage, it falls at level 2, and that was a very, very powerful Creepjacks, taking some necessary experience. That Mountain King should have been much higher at level 4, but the Warden getting so much of that experience, getting to level 5 and finishing off that Blood Mage in good order. Mountain King now perhaps trying to run back away here. That Warden going to continue to cause problems for that Mountain King. Mountain King now with that Tome of Retraining, going for Thunderclap, as well as Siege Engines now making their way over. Detonation quickly making or causing problems here, as well, as the Mountain King unable to use that Thunderclap. All right, what does a human player do when he doesn't know what to do against a Night Elf player? He goes tanks. Tanks being dropped in from the sky. Difficult for Night Elf players to deal with. The amount of damage just constantly harassing gold mines, as we're seeing a third hero from the human side. Paladin, yep, not too out of the ordinary. Paladin as that third hero. We're looking at double workshops, training up siege engines. Well, fortified armor, very difficult to deal with, as oftentimes mainly the only units that are dealing damage are heroes and piercing. Bears are perhaps the best counter to that. But then again, if your bears are being forced to hang back to try and protect your main base, well, that is a problem in and of itself. Lawliet, this entangled gold mine now being forced to be repaired here. A lot of damage constantly being repaired, as the mud golem now makes its way over. Coming back across here, siege engines catching this Ancient of War pretty much out of position. Is it going to try and fight back? Yes, it will. Dryads now making their way over. Siege engines only deal damage to buildings. Ancient of War with that, well, +5 armor, Nature's Blessing, as the anti-magic shell of the Warden, well, going after all of these peasants now, as it's taking a little bit of feedback damage again. Well, a nice little Congo line of peasants now making its way through. Are we going to see a Blink Fan of Knives, perhaps finishing off more of those peasants again? The Warden says, you know what, I have enough to finish off another peasant right there. And now in comes the Staff of Teleportation to get away. Staff of Teleportation back inside his own base, going to go ahead and drink up many of those Moonwells, get back up to full, and get ready to move on out, as this siege engine is about to get taken down, giving level 6 to the Warden. Warden is going to have a field day here. Level 6 Warden followed up by a level 3 Panda. The AoE damage is so high. Spellbreaker is now joining in on the fight as well. 2-0 upgrades on those siege engines, as well. The siege engines may be able to finish off a Tree of Life or Tree of Eternity. There's a Fan of Knives. There's an Avatar of Vengeance. Paladin trying to heal up all of those units, but I believe Lawliet is in major control of this battle here. Siege engines now making their way over. Another Fan of Knives coming across. Spellbreaker immune to the effects, but however, all of that trailing damage starting to really add up as a healing ward was placed down temporarily. All right, a new healing ward now used. Units are trying to get stabbed and save. Blood Mage trying to banish himself into the other realm in order to stay around and fight another day, and we're looking at exactly that. Breath of Fire trying to finish off that last siege engine. There it goes. The Tree of Life was actually forced to uproot. And that is a problem right there. Forcing that Tree of Life to uproot automatically untangles that gold mine, as we see an army of Ancients of War off to the side trying to protect this Tree of Life. Mountain King hiding under the cover of a guard tower, or a large number of guard towers. I don't see a staff of... actually, there is a staff of Sanctuary. I would have thought that, is it on cooldown, that he would have used it on that knight. That knight's still trying to get healed up, but it's not going to stick around for very long, as we're looking at a 68 supply army going up against 50 Infi with the larger number, or larger expo, expo count, but still unable to hold any of this off. Mass Ancient of War 2003 style. Yep, we'll see how all of that goes. Scroll of Town Portal to get out of a bad spot right there. A Dryad close enough to remove some of that nasty Scroll of Regeneration, as the Paladin still sits at level 1, now with a Ring of Regeneration. Warden diving on in here, trying to go after all of those peasants. A lot of damage getting added through, as the Warden now down to 309 mana. Warden's avatar, is it still present anywhere? I would have thought so. Yeah, there is that Avatar of Vengeance, as we are seeing hippogriffs join in on the fight. All right, a little bit of Fan of Knife damage, or Fan of Knives damage, as the Warden now being forced to teleport back away again, heading back home. Gonna drop those pendants. Nope, just drinking the Moonwells, and without dropping the Circlet of Nobility or that Pendant of Energy first. Knight now trying to transition back off to the north. We're seeing a large number of guard towers, masonry upgrade now getting added in for these towers. 10% bonus increase plus an additional point of armor. There is that Staff of Sanctuary being used, as the Mountain King may be forced to try and save some of those units. Again, Mountain King able to shake off that damage a little bit better than that Blood Mage. All right, in comes the Warden. Warden perhaps going to try and get in front here. This could be a major problem. All of those peasants could end up getting taken down. There's 2 arcane towers right here. Is it going to be enough? Siphon, Mana, Stormbolt. Oh, that's shaking off right there, as a beautiful Fan of Knives being used. All right, Peasant trying to stay alive right there. It is going to end up being banished, as the Warden still dancing around, continuing all of those all of that damage, as the Warden able to back up, but down to 444 hit points. It needs to be saved as well. All right, there's the blinking once more. Panda gets up to level 4, so a level 6, level 4 going up against Infi, who is still sitting on 4-2-1 heroes, very much behind. He is starting to build up a bank, but what is he going to really do with this bank of units when he's down by a full 30 supply against his opponent? All right, down 30 supply, trying to set up a third base. 3 heroes walk into a Night Elf base, and I'm waiting for a punchline and I can't think of one. All right, Mountain King now making its way over. In comes the Stormbolt onto the Druid of the Claw. Warden making its way back over here. Dryads making what? Versus, I can't even remember the last time I saw a Cannon Tower in a pro game versus Dryads. It does make a lot of sense. You can see a little bit of that bashing right there. Mountain King, getting a Thunderclap, and now in comes that Staff of Teleportation. It is going to be joining back in on the fight off to the north. There's a Fan of Knives. Knights just in a massive, terrible spot right now, as it's trying to get away. May end up getting staffed as well. Is that Staff of Sanctuary on cooldown? Yes, it was finished getting cooled down, as the units are now making their way back down again. All right, are we going to perhaps see Siphon Mana away from the Druid of the Claw? No, not quite yet. Blood Mage actually siphoning mana into that Mountain King, as the Blood Mage needs to back up here. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary? I haven't really seen Staff of Sanctuary used. Perhaps the Panda has one. He does. as the units are now still in full retreat. Back off to the north here. Well, what do you do when your opponent has a very large number of towers at his expansion? Well, you attack it with units that can't take damage. Alright, the Spirit of Vengeance is going to deal massive damage right there, shutting down this expansion attempt here in its tracks, even though it was, well, fairly well along. Alright, still having 4 Spirit of Vengeances there. Avatar, where is that Avatar of Vengeance? It's not down here. There's one Hippogriff still hiding off. There's another Hippogriff just watching the unfriendly skies. There is the Avatar of Vengeance trying to finish off the remaining buildings. As you can see, more Avatar Spirit of Vengeances getting propped up here. That cannon tower, that range is 800. It is really, really far. Yeah, even outranging a guard tower here. The Spirit or the Arcane tower going to end up getting taken down. As we can take a look, well, in comes those Spirit of Vengeances, finishing off this, what was a well-fortified base moment ago. However, well, you know what? That Avatar of Vengeance is just that strong and just that good. Yeah. One of those situations, Lawliet, pretty much in dominant control of this game right now. Infi finally going into low upkeep and going to try and build up a large army. The problem is he was staying at no upkeep for so long. Even though he was avoiding taxes, he still was ending up feeding his opponent's heroes. His opponent's heroes, level 6 on the Warden, and now almost, and already level 4 on that Panda, going up against the current army right now, as we're going to see a Staff of Teleportation make its way off to the north, and well, this is going to end up getting finished off pretty fast as well. That Avatar of Vengeance could end up getting taken down, and well, now fighting back here, a little bit of piercing damage, trying to spread out all of that piercing damage. Cannon tower down to 180 or 89 hit points. It will end up falling, and well, there goes that expansion attempt by Infi. All of those things left. Now only a single scout tower offering no protection whatsoever, as the army now makes its way back off to the north again. Well, Warden is sitting at level 6, has plenty of mana ready to be used. And what is this Panda doing? Panda still has that potion of greater healing from earlier on off over here. It hasn't even needed to use it yet. This is a really bad sign for Infi, or as potions of healing that were picked up many moments ago are still not being used. That means that the Panda and the Warden have not been threatened in any of these battles. We're looking at 3-2 upgrades on the Night Elf, 3-3 upgrades on those siege engines, but the siege engines are really not carrying the human army as well as perhaps many think they should be able to do. It is a fallback strategy here. Moonwell's ending up getting taken a big health potion plus health stone. Yeah, big heal pot and health stone. That Panda is not going to be dying anytime soon, save for some catastrophic. Oh, there was a Breath of Fire attempt, but that didn't work. And now the Panda finally gets a Breath of Fire off cross all of those units. Siphon mana away. Blood Mage still sitting at level 2, trying to siphon mana away from that Warden. Where is that Warden going to go? Holy Light onto the Mountain King. Phantom Knives being used again, as we're looking at all the units now making their way back off to the north. Our Avatar Vengeance is now back out onto the field. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary? Staff of Sanctuary being used right there between the Paladin and that Blood Mage, able to clean things up. All right, new towers already being built down off to the north here, trying to reestablish this base, but things are just not working out all that well. One thing I would say, Avatar of Vengeance, the Spirit of Vengeances should somehow be tethered to the Avatar of Vengeance, as well. Since having invulnerable units, even though they are on timed life, can feel very devastating, especially if the weakness is if you take down the Avatar of Vengeance, then everything else falls. Well, there's no guarantee that that unit has to be nearby. All right, Blink now moving away once more as the Blood Mage trying to hold back here. Expansion now done. All the guard towers already done. I don't see any cannon towers though, as the Knights here, well, could end up running into a bit of trouble again. Staff of Teleportation coming back over. New Knight joining in on the fight. Staff of Sanctuary saving up that Knight here, as we are going to be looking at a Roar. As this poor Knight joins in on the battle, only to be absolutely destroyed. Infi and all of his expansions are just feeding experience to Lawliet's heroes. All right, fight where your opponent is not. And that's exactly what Lawliet may be trying to do, just hitting constantly with this not so mobile army, but being able to still effectively get into like tight situations. All right, Staff of Sanctuary, well, recharging up 1 knight, 2 knights down across over here. Meanwhile, Warden dives on in, Goblin or Hippogriffs going after the peasants right there. And now what can these peasants really do? Fan of Knives trying to run away, but, well, Fan of Knives, well, let's just say peasants are not fan of knives. As the Shredder now makes its way back off to the north. At least I'm making jokes my daughter likes. Blood Mage now shifting back down again. Peasants, Spellbreakers off over here trying to run back around, but this is looking like an absolute massacre of units. Stormbolt tried to finish off a Hippogriff, couldn't even get that, as Lawliet was able to heal it with a Moonwell. Spellbreakers now shifting on back again. There's that Siphon Mana, well, quickly getting broken by a blink as the Blood Mage now chooses to head back again. Yep. All right, Tree of Life was definitely trying to entangle a gold mine here. Scroll of Town Portal coming across. Blood Mage does it have a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, it does. Wisps all right there. Are they going to end up going to get taken down? Trying to finish off Wisp after Wisp as we see the Scroll of Town Portal picking up and, well, running off again. Still, that Blood Mage sitting still only at level 2, and so far 69 supply compared to 72 here. It is 2 bases to 1 right now, but then again there's only about 5 minutes of mining left at the expansion. Lawliet is in control of this game, but Infi is not making it easy for Lawliet to close it out, and that is what we're looking at now. All right. Warden gonna go ahead and dive on in. There is that Fan of Knives. Well, nope, no Fan of Knives. Goblin Zeppelin saying, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try and pick up all of these units. There's a Staff of Sanctuary on the Goblin Zeppelin itself to try and protect all of those peasants. As you saw, that Goblin Zeppelin was really, really low on hit points, about to be poked out of the sky. Well, dropping their precious cargo and dropping all of those peasants nearly to their death, as slow-moving peasants from Fan of Knives would have just gotten absolutely destroyed. Hippogriffs, however, are saying, you know what? I think we can poke this Goblin Zeppelin to death anyways, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. And they're going to find them, and oh my goodness, they got all. Wait, was that? Did someone see if there were still peasants inside? I thought they would have been dropped, but I guess there were no peasants inside. Staff of Teleportation coming back across. They died as the Blood Mage trying to siphon mana again. I would have thought that they would have been able to stay around next to that castle, but that just did not happen. Breath of Fire right there. So the ending up, all of them. Wow, I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't know that. I would have thought that if you're over your own building, I would have, I guess it's like standing in the middle of a castle, you end up getting destroyed, or over the forest, you end up getting destroyed. So those hippogriffs actually took out 5 peasants. That you don't see that happen very, very much. All right, coming back around. Peasants still mining away here. We are looking at this expansion beyond full saturation. 70 supply going up against 77. Knights now being forced to fight against Ancients of War to try and finish them off. Ancient of War now looking to back up again. Mountain Giants leading the charge. There's that taunt, pulling that Mountain King away temporarily. I don't know if Infi would know if there was a random leveling up on one of his heroes. He could have suspected it, as we're looking at the units now making their way. These extra hippogriffs in the air, really finishing off that last expansion from being able to do all too much. It looks like, however, there are peasants back off there. All right, Holy Light saving up this Blood Mage. Where are all of these units going to be trying to go to next? Warden now looking to back up once more. Spellbreakers, 1-3 upgrades. Fan of Knives not doing very much there. Breath of Fire, Holy Light, Staff of Sanctuary, as the Paladin now tries to get away once more. All right, Hippogriffs not going to be able to do much of anything. There is Scroll of Protection. Paladin actually getting cycloned up Wand of the Wind? Or is that Druid of the Talon? A Druid of the Talon by Lawliet just to add insult there, saying, you know what, I'll go Master Talons in addition to Mountain Giants, Master Bears, and Dryads. All right, Staff of Teleportation coming back in. Warden, you're going to go ahead and try to poke their way through. It looks as though one very low hit point Knight just trying to hide inside. Fan of Knives, however, taking it down, as well as the Mountain King unable to save his Paladin brethren. All right, Warden able to back off down to 370 hit points. Spellbreakers are off over here. Paladin resurrects very quickly, though, as the Blood Mage, well, perhaps going to try to give extra mana to that unit right here. There's that Staff of Sanctuary saving once more, a little bit more damage. There's some taunts, Sundering Blades. Well, there goes a Knight getting taken down, as the Warden is still dancing around in the back. Arcane Tower is going to try and feed back some damage onto anything else, but I think this is going to be the end of it here. This has just been a slow victory for Lawliet. He's been in command. He's actually fighting in the base of the human army, and well, that is just not working at all. Mortar teams finally out here onto the side of the map to try to get in some additional damage here. 74 supply compared to 68. Are the mortar teams going to be able to do enough as they're trying to splash in all of that damage? Again, Mountain King coming in the back here. Blood Mage low on mana, or low on hit points, could get taken down, somehow still alive. Staff of Sanctuary saves the Paladin. Staff of Preservation moves him back down. Stormbolt and finishes off a Mountain Giant. And what is going on? Did I miscalculate this? Lawliet 62, 57. Blood Mage falls at level 3. Staff of Preservation saves the Warden, as the Brewmaster still has double potions for free use. All right, units are still falling. There goes another Knight once more. And are we going to see Avatar of Vengeance is still right there. Fan of Knives coming back across, and really Infi tried his best to hold off his opponent and did it for a very long time. Lawliet fighting in an uncomfortable spot for what seemed like forever and a day, but still ended up getting the victory right there. All right, that was pretty close at the end, fighting under the cover of some guard towers, Staff of Sanctuaries moving units around, but the fact that the Paladin... You can stop clapping. But the fact that the Paladin never got to level 2 or even especially level 3 for level 2 Holy Light was the difference in that battle. All right, well, got to level 2, maybe, I don't know if it went for Divine Shield. It was very, very late, seeing how long the heroes were just at 4-3-2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.